So, what's the difference between hard work and working hard? So, for the first 22 years of my life, as I was climbing the ladder, working in finance for a few different companies, but in the corporate world, I was really hard at work. I was working long hours, weekends, even when I wasn't at work. I was thinking about work, it was taking up space in my mind, and I'm sure many of you can resonate with this, whether you work in the corporate world or even in the public sector. You can resonate with that, just really hard at work. Work's really hard. You're grinding away. No matter how much work you do, there just seems to be more and more to do. And that's how I was living until I nearly had a nervous breakdown. And it was the second one that I nearly had before I started to wake up and realize that there were subconscious programs that were starting to become conscious to me that were driving that kind of work. I started questioning to myself, why would I work like this when it's really harming my body? It was harming my mind, it was harming my body, it was snuffing out my life force energy. And I realized it's because I had some programming that made me believe that I wasn't enough, that I needed to do more, be more, have more, that I just wasn't smart enough and I needed to work harder to prove that I was. And I also had a belief that working hard, that I had a good work ethic, that it was good to work like that. It was almost like, it was something to be proud of. I used to feel bitterness towards my then boss who would basically, I knew she was getting paid more than me because I worked in finance, so I was privy to that information. And she would work, I don't know, maybe like 8:30 till 6, and I would be in at like 6 in the morning till like 7, and I felt a bit of resentment and bitterness towards her while she was working. Like, I mean, how much of a spell was I under? Obviously, I was under that slave system subconscious programming that is infested into our reality, that makes us work like slaves to a point where we are harming ourselves. And thankfully, like I say, that woke me up. And many people wake up when they have a health crisis, because eventually it is inevitable that if you work like that and you keep your body under that constant stress, that you are going to get ill. Something's going to happen because your body, not because your body is bad, because your body is trying to wake you up so that it can survive. Because if it didn't manifest that illness or that disease, then it's just going to die, right? Because you're not going to be aware of the strain and the stress that you're putting the body under. So it has no choice because it's being put under so much stress. Our bodies are designed for a little bit of stress, but not continual stress, which is what many of us work under, as we are hard at work in the slave system. Now, on the flip side, working hard. Well, we start to work hard when we move into soul alignment, when we start to do that which we came here to do. As we do our healing work, as we go on that healing journey and we heal all of those beliefs. So what was coming up for me, I realized that I had that belief that I wasn't good enough, I wasn't smart enough, and I started to bring that into the light through consciousness. I could start to heal that. I could start to examine it and start to look at it and realize that it wasn't the truth. I could realize that working myself like that was actually not smart, right? How much irony is that, right? That belief that I wasn't smart enough was driving me to do something that was so not smart, that was harming my body. And that's what subconscious programs often do. You are subconsciously being pushed away from something that it's actually running you towards. It's like the people pleasing program. We learn to be people pleasers as children so that we can get affection, we can get love, we can get validation, because often if we are pleasing an adult, we are accepted, we are loved. If we are not pleasing an adult, we are rejected, we are abandoned, love is withheld from us. It teaches us from a very young age to be a people pleaser. As we become older and we are pleasing people, often not even consciously, then it's actually what it's saying to this. We're doing that for love, to feel good enough, but subconsciously what it communicates to the self is, I'm not enough, I don't matter, everybody else matters before me. So it has the opposite effects. That's the same with all subconscious programs. So the harder I worked to prove subconsciously to myself that I was smart enough, good enough to get validation, the more work that came to me. And that's because the outer world is mirroring those subconscious beliefs that are going on inside of us, because it's mirroring and reflecting it back to us to wake us up, right? But often we don't wake up until we have a nervous breakdown or something like that, until we start really going, what's going on here, and start questioning. And that's okay. It's just often how it works, and that was how it was for me. But it is mirroring back to us. It's mirroring back to us the fact that we don't believe we're enough. And until we start believing, so me just seeing that, just realizing that, just having that aha moment, that moment of clarity that came into my life, just that moment allowed me then to question that belief, hold it up to the true light of day and see that is not the truth. It's not the truth. We are all enough. That is a consciousness virus. Understand that anything inside you that feels that you are not good enough in whatever way that is, it's not truth. It's a consciousness virus infected purposely into the collective consciousness to keep us in the slave system. So just me seeing that, I made a choice to see it wasn't truth, and I instantly dissolved a huge layer of that. Now, I didn't dissolve it all. These programs go deep and they go back into our past lives, and they go back into our ancestral line. So there's a big energetic wound to be healed there, and it's collective as well. So I didn't heal it all just with that realization, but I healed a lot of it. I looked at it and I said, no, that's not me. And I'm not going to continue to work like that. And I started putting myself first more. I started saying no to those kind of hours and work. I started respecting my body and myself. And just through that one action, that choice of starting to say, it's my choice. That work's going to continually be given to me. It's up to me to say no to that and yes to the self. It's up to me to say, I do matter. I am good enough. I am important. I matter. My body matters. And in doing that one choice, I started to instantly heal some of that wound, and I started to instantly connect back to a belief, back to a worthy, that I was worthy. So it started that healing process just through that enlightenment and acknowledgement of the self. So then I could move into, then I started to hear my guidance more, and I was guided to retraining hypnotherapy. And I've been working 22 years in finance. I'd done all my finance exams. I'd been working my ass off. I'd climbed the ladder. I was a senior, I was doing well according to societal success, right? But I was dead inside. I was exhausted. I was just like, this is not what I want to do. And on that awakening, on seeing that, I had a voice saying to me, you're interested in hypnotherapy, do it. And I said to myself, okay, I'm going to do this. I don't know where that's come from, but like, yes. And it was a yes moment. And I was like, right, I'm going to do this. And I didn't put loads of pressure on myself. I didn't say to myself, but Corinne, you've worked in finance for 22 years. You've done all this work. You're working your way up. You'll have to start again. No, I didn't give myself any of that bullshit. All that stuff is there to trap you and stop you from moving forward. Instead, I just said to myself, do you know what, I'm going to do it because I'm interested in it, because I'm curious about it, and I'm just going to see where it takes me, because I know it's going to help me build up my self-belief and my self-esteem. So I did it for those reasons. And I said to myself, what do I need to do? What's the one step I need to take? And there's just one step to take, and that was sign up for a course. So I did that. And that has led me on a path to now I am, that was 2017, 2006, it's a long path. But hey ho, right, I would have been still, my biggest fear would have been waking up back then, waking up in 10 years and still been doing the same thing, still working like a slave. And I'd probably been dead by now anyway. I'd at least have been a zombie inside anyway, if my body was still managing to survive. But it's been such a journey of awakening, of discovery, of so many gifts, of healing. It's been a real journey of healing, and it's led me to now. I've got my own business, Simple Change, Hypnosoul Therapy, where I help other people really turn the light onto all of those subconscious beliefs. I've become a master on unearthing, shining a light on those lies, that corruption that's within the body, so that we can heal it, so we can heal disease, we can heal depression, anxiety, all those stuff, all the things that block us from connecting to the authentic self, all the stuff that stop the soul from incarnating into the body. And it's led me to this point, and it wasn't a straight line. I didn't go straight from A to B because I still had healing to do. So when I decided I was going to do hypnotherapy, and I did it, and I started to learn, and the more I learned, the more I got interested in it, and I just started, anytime I heard anyone with a problem, I was just like, I'll help you, I'll do it for free. And I just started seeing loads of people for free so that I could build up my confidence, so that I could learn, so that I could experience. So, there was times when it was, I was, let's say, rather than it was hard work, I was working hard, right? It wasn't hard work, it wasn't draining my soul. So hard work, it drains our soul. It snuffs out our life force energy. And our currency is our life force. Is our life force. We've been led to believe that money is our currency, but money is simply an exchange of service. Our life force energy is our gold. So when you are hard at work, it snuffs out that life force energy. So now I was working hard because I was doing something that was re-energizing me, that was expanding me, that was growing me. So it was feeding my, I look back now on that period and I cannot believe what I did in that time, because between 2017 and 2020, I was still working full-time in finance, but at the same time, I retrained in hypnotherapy. I saw loads of clients. I built up a business. I did more training. I did training in RTT. I was just training, learning, growing, doing all that whilst doing that job. And what I did is I stopped working the crazy hours there, and I started putting myself first. And rather than sitting and watching TV, because I was just exhausted and night, I was doing things that were feeding my soul. So I did all of that, which led me to then be able to quit that full-time job, and birth my business. And at first I was doing clinical hypnotherapy because so that's like, smoking, stop smoking, all these kind of things, because I was still afraid to really do that, what was in my heart. I was being led to source, to soul work, but I still had doubts, I still had corruption, I was still in fear. So I still had to go through deep healing. That's the healing I've been through, the reconnection. But that is the difference between hard work and working hard. When you're working hard, it's okay to work hard when it's energizing your body, when it's in a soul alignment. So I'm moving to soul alignment so that the work that I'm doing now, it re-energizes me, it gives me life. And in that re-energizing, in that life, it's like it's a win-win. It's a win for me, it's a win for my clients. And together we symbiotically grow each other. Every single one of my clients grows me. And in turn, I help them to grow and expand as well. So we work together like that. We fit together perfectly. So if you are doing something right now and it is draining your energy, if you get up and you think, oh God, then you are not in soul alignment, and that's okay. We have all been there. It is a journey, and the first thing is to acknowledge that's where I am. It's not bad, it's not wrong, it's part of the path. It's part of the awakening process. And but know that you can make a choice to move into soul alignment, and it is a choice to do your healing work. And that is what I've realized. That's why my path has been here. It's been here to get me onto that path, to help other souls to reconnect back to the true soul self, to heal those corruptions inside. That's why I'm becoming a master at shining the light on, so that they can then move into their soul alignment, so that they can start to do the work that re-energizes them, that fills them up with light. Because when you're filled up with light, then you're putting that light into the planet, and it's a win-win for everyone. So that's how that's the difference from my perspective. Anyway, you may have a different perspective on that, but that's how I see the difference between hard work, hard grind work that just drains you, and working hard. Working hard is fine when it's in soul alignment, because it actually drives you and you want to do stuff. In fact, my friend was here the other day, and she was saying, what are you doing today? And I thought, I'm just relaxing. I'm going to do a bit of work for my business. I'm going to do some study, some training. And she was like, well, relax as well. And I was like, that is how I relax. I was like, being creative is what fills me up with passion and light, and that is how I relax. So that is the difference. This video really is to highlight that, so that you can make a choice to change directions like I did. There's something inside you that you're curious about. Decide to follow that curiosity. Don't give yourself loads of, well, I can't do this because of that. Just take one step. It just takes one little step. You don't have to project into the future. You just stay focused on the here and now and that one step, and do it because you're curious about it, and then you will be led. Or if you're interested in going through that reconnection journey as well that I've been through, if you're interested in going through that healing journey with me, check out the link below. I've got a group live Reconnect 7-week program starting soon where really I give you all the tools to heal. We go through a deep healing journey, a deep dive into the soul. It's really an acceleration to your healing and growth, and afterwards it gives you the tools to continue that journey long after we have met. Because regardless of what anyone says on the internet, when they say things like, say this one word, do this one thing, and everything will be miraculously healed and your life will totally change and you'll manifest $1 million, that is bullshit. Sorry to say that, it was bullshit. I have been down that road. That is not the truth. So I give you truth. This is about truth. This is about reconnecting back to the true soul self, so you can start that true healing journey of reclaiming the soul fragments that are lost, so that you can step into your highest expression. So after it, you have all of the tools to continue to do that. And for anyone that emails me that gets in touch from YouTube as well, I'm offering 50% off. I'm practically giving away this live 7-week program that starts on the 4th of the 4th on the 444 portal. So hopefully I will see you there.